Hello, this is Betty with Oak by Bettina. Thank you for watching my channel. I love art, all kinds of art, and I jump from one technique to the other. I want to share my experience with you. So if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment area and I will reply to them as soon as possible. Don't forget to hit the share button, the notification button, to send me any comments you might have. And if you like what you see, give me a thumbs up. Now, let's enjoy this new creation that I have made for you. Here we go. I hope you're all having a great day. I'm going to attempt the Larimar effect today. I haven't done it in way over a year, but I've seen a lot of artists bringing it back. I'm going to be using this mold, which I believe it's a Julie Cutts mold. I've had it for a long time. And I'm going to be using a 1-to-1 resin, and I use craft resin. And I'm going to mix 155 grams of the resin, and that's 80 grams of part A and 75 grams of part B. I know this is not the resin that is used for the Larimar, but I have used it before and it works, so that's what I have, and I just want to try it again, see if I can get it one more time. And I'm going to divide, once I mix my resin, I'm going to divide it into 3 parts. I will be dividing the 155 grams into 3 parts. My white will be 42 grams. My dark will be 50 grams, and my light will be 60 grams. That just leaves me a little bit of resin to make my middle piece if I decide to add something in the middle. Now, this information that I have is from my notes of about a year ago. Here I'm deciding on what inks I'm going to be using, and I'm using Liquitex inks, acrylic inks. I'll be using this phthalo blue with a drop of black for my dark. And then I am choosing between the red and the yellow, and I decide to use the yellow for my light. And for my white, I have always used Eye Candy Satori White. This is a paste, and I like it. I measure with a toothpick. This is a paste, so it's not, I cannot drop it in. Now let me get everything mixed up, and once I'm ready to pour, I'll be back. Okay, I'm ready to pour now. I have let my resin sit for a little bit, but because it's a 1-to-1 resin, I did not let it sit as long as I would if it was a 3-to-1. Also, it is summer here in Florida, so I only let it sit for about 20 or 25 minutes. I think it's warm enough and honey consistency at this point where I can divide my resin into the 3 parts. So here I'm dividing the first one into the 40. I should have put a little bit more. I think I wanted 42, but I put it at 40, which is fine. Now, before I mix anything else, I will mix my white and pour it into the mold, allowing it to rest and pop any bubbles to come up, so I'll be able to pop them. And I measure with a toothpick. I just put the toothpick in the paste, remove all the excess, and use whatever's left on the toothpick. By the end of this video, I did remember that it's even less white that I should have used, but that's fine. That just gives me another reason to do one more Larimar. I remember doing these Larimars over and over again. I never took the course, so I had to figure out the measurements by myself, and I do believe I got pretty close. Here I'm checking the level of my mold, and it seems to be leveled at this point. So as I said, I'm going to put down this white resin in my mold first and let it rest, move it around, make sure there's no bubbles, or remove as many as I can. And then I will start working on my dark and my white. Here I'm moving the mold around and hoping that those bubbles that are stuck to the bottom will come to the surface and I'll be able to pop them. Now I take my time to do the other two colors, my blue and my yellow. I put in, I believe, 5 or 6 drops of this phthalo blue, and then I go ahead and add 1 drop of the black. And there I have my timer, and I'm making sure, because this is a 1-to-1 resin, that I have everything poured within 30 minutes of the moment that I stirred the resins part A and B together. And the reason I do this is because 1-to-1 resin is much thicker than 3-to-1 resin. The viscosity is thinner, or the consistency of the 3-to-1 resin is thinner than the 1-to-1. I think of it, and it's easy for me to remember, that 3-to-1 is like water and 1-to-1 is like honey, and the 2-to-1 is in between. I really don't like to measure except for resin that I know has to be exact, but other than that, I go by the feel and consistency of my paints, and I do the same thing when I'm adding in my colors into the resin for this Larimar effect. So if I keep in mind that 3-to-1 is more watery and it's going to take longer to dry, and 1-to-1 is more of a honey consistency and will take less time to dry. So here I'm mixing my light, and I believe I put in 2 drops. I add in 1, 2, 3 more because it is pretty transparent. And once I finish mixing this in, I will start adding my dark, and I dump in the dark color and then I dump in the light color, and I will leave it overnight until the next day to demold. I have a feeling that this is going to turn out okay because I went through the notes that I had, but if it doesn't, there's always a next time. So I will see you back again when this is ready to demold. Okay, it's demolding time, and that looks pretty good there. I decided not to put anything in the middle. I just wanted to see if it works, but that looks good on this side. So I can tell that the yellow and the blue did turn green in the middle, of course. So let's see what happened. Okay, not too bad. Not too bad at all. Except that green in the middle, I don't like it too much. But the effect, the Larimar effect is there. And I guess I just need to tweak my colors a little bit. Maybe darken up my blue and using something else besides yellow. I will try it one more time. Let me know what you think, guys, and I hope this helped. Take care.